Welcome back to the NSCSA, folks. Off with our final round of League of Legends in Division 1.
League of Legends does have a
For
built-in
our
3 minute
first team,
delay
Kearney,
between
6-1.
segments,
Your
so
local
we'll
amigo, Dean
be a little
Schulte.
delayed from the
Schultz.
action. So if you hear cheering from
He
any
plays
of
in
the
top.
tables you're
We
cheering
have
for, you'll find
XTS
out about 3
Prime,
minutes what we're
Michael
playing. So
Schultz.
probably good news though.
He plays jungle, Pink Fluffy, Lucky Potter, playing the mid, Dirt and Worms, Lucas Goodell as the ADC, and Eternal Hyena, Caleb Strauss as support.
And then for our other team today is going to be Omaha Central. For their top laner is going to be Volibear, played by Jaden Johnson. And then for their jungle, we got Ooh Help Me. That's going to be Isaac Ferragati. For their mid laner, we've got Ghost Toast, Isaias Gonzalez. And then for their bot laner, that's going to be their support. It's going to be Ultimate Nest, Keaton Carver. And then for their bot laner, we got Grand Ginkgo, who is Paul Newman. Loading into the ban and pick phase here. We've got some quick off the bat bans. We've got 2 jungle bans and a bot laner ban, a Nyla ban, as well as a Viego ban in the favor of Kearney, and a Zach and a Seraphine ban for Omaha Central. Some interesting bans already in this match.
Is there anything you can tell from the band so far?
Looks like they're definitely splitting out which things they're banning, making sure that they're covering a wide variety of roles instead of focusing on one. So we're going to see some variation here.
Do you think we'll see a Volibear ban?
We'll see. Tom Kench is going to get locked in favor of Kearney. Tom Kench is a very strong top lane character. However, he can be played support, so we'll have to see where he ends up. And there's the Volibear lock-in. For the side of Omaha Central. A little to no surprise there, as well as a Nocturne lock-in. Some interesting picks here already. We got Jin lock-in on the side of Kearney. Waiting for this last round of picks to finish up. Fluffy definitely considering his options. Going to lock in Veigar. Veigar is one of those infinite scaling characters, so they're already set up to be pretty good towards that late game. Silas lock-in for the opponent into Veigar. A very interesting pick considering Veigar specializes in dealing with characters that try to jump on top of him.
Is there any way in League of Legends to pick the same character as another player?
Not in draft mode. If you're playing blind pick, you can, but this isn't blind pick. We got an Amumu ban. Second jungle ban for Omaha Central, knowing that the opponent hasn't picked a jungler quite yet. In the same capacity, we've got a second bot laner ban for Kearney, trying to make sure that bot laner is very limited in his choices. Kane gets banned out as well. That means 3 total jungle bans for for Omaha Central, just trying to make sure that that jungler has very limited choices here. We got a Samira lock-in for Omaha Central. Very strong character. I'm going to be interested to see what she gets paired up with. Xin Zhao locked in for the jungler. Going to be a definite interesting matchup between Nocturne and Xin Zhao. Looks like Tom Kench is going to be the support and Seth is going to be the top laner. As we're going into our 4-minute break, waiting for final matches to start up.
How are matches going to look at this match?
So matchups this match. We got a Set versus a Volibear in the top lane. That can really go either way. If the Set plays it right, however, Volibear is probably going to be in a slightly worse position. Xin Zhao versus Nocturne is also one of those closer matchups, although I think Xin Zhao's early strength is going to really shine in this matchup. However, if Xin Zhao isn't able to secure enough map control before the mid and late game, he's not going to be able to impact the game as much as one would hope from a jungler. Veigar versus Silas, as I mentioned earlier, Veigar is a range character, he infinitely scales, and he is really good at dealing with characters that are trying to get on top of him, so I'm not sure if Silas is the greatest pick into him, although I'd really like to see that Silas roaming around the map, doing damage to other lanes, messing them up a little bit. And then here in the bot lane, we've got two really aggressive teams set up here. We've got a Samira and Blitzcrank versus a Jin and a Tom Kench. Now, Blitzcrank and Samira are a very menacing combo because Samira can combo off of Blitzcrank's CC, get their ults off, do a really good job in general. However, Jin is really good at getting that early fight, high damage abilities off. So we're going to have to see how it ends up rolling out. Although I believe Samira is probably favored in this matchup. What I'd really like to see coming out of this match is a Veigar trying to push in, get some of that infinite scaling in, and then working with Xin Zhao and maybe Tom Kench to roam around the map, get some more points up, get that gold, get that experience, stack his passive, and get really strong into the late game. Got about a minute and a half left on this spectator delay. Hopefully we'll get into the match here pretty soon. Just a real quick recap of the season for these two teams. Kearney is coming into this with a season record of 6-1, and Omaha Central is coming in with a record of 4-3. We're going to have to see if that shows at all in this matchup.
Do you think the CS will have a big impact this round?
Well, I haven't seen these two teams in action yet, so I'm not sure how good they are at CS, but I'd really hope to see some good CS from both teams. We saw yesterday night, how some teams were taking a big advantage using CS and using that to roll through the entire game, so we're going to have to see if similar tactics are employed here.
What do you think of the builds?
Nothing out of the ordinary here as far as I can tell, so should be a fairly straight up match.
And they're immediately heading out.
Doesn't look like we're going for an end of this match. A little bit of a slow start. Nocturne's still in base.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Or not. Do you want to see some movement out of this Nocturne here? Alright, there we go.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I put the goal in Golem.
And just for your reference, folks, the red team is the Eagles.
Minions have spawned.
I did turn the in-game sound down a little bit for y'all, so hopefully you can hear me better.
Eagles are the blue team, right?
Red team. So red team. Looks like Xin Zhao is starting without a leash. That might put him a little bit behind in timing here, but Xin Zhao again is one of those stronger junglers, so probably more.
Seems like we're having some early face-offs.
Just the usual laning phase, nothing quite out of the ordinary quite yet, but we're going to have to be keeping a careful eye here in the top lane. Both Set and Volibear are coming up in to try to look for those fights again early. Volibear getting to level 2, looking for that engage, not going to find it, however. Set is managing to walk out of his ability, so he's probably just going to fall back, try to scale up all through and get that level advantage evened out before any major fights end up happening. Unfortunately, Set is taking a lot of damage here. Probably out of a fairly bad position.
I've noticed that hasn't gone under the turret that most other people have done.
For sure. Set playing very careful here, backing up under his turret, making the right decision. Trying to get that stun in on Volibear. Volibear's going to go in on him. He's going to throw out his W. Try and even out that trade. That tower shot's going to even it back out for him. Xin Zhao coming in for an early gank. Looks like they were playing on this fight. Xin Zhao hopping in, going to get that knockup, and they're going to get first blood for the side of Kearney. I'm going to try and lower that volume again. Not perfect, but it should work. Silas looking for an engage here. He's going to find it, going to get some damage in. However, Vagar gets that pulled back out, and he's going to even out the health bar. CS looking fairly even across the board here. Set up 5 currently on the top lane, but otherwise no major differences.
I've noticed that Volibear hasn't gone for an engage again.
Not quite yet. We should be expecting to see it here in the next few minutes or so. Volibear does like trying to find fights. Vagar doing a very good job here of trying to get those passes. Set once again going in for an engage, but he's a level down. Volibear going to dodge the W. Set's going to have to back up here or he's going to lose this fight. He tried to engage, but he didn't have enough minions, so he's going to lose out on the trade here because the minions did a lot more damage to him than Volibear had to. I'm not sure that was the greatest trade on his part. Surprised that I'm not seeing more action in the bot lane here. Typically I see Samira and Blitzcrank trying to go for those early engages. Haven't seen any of that quite yet.
I've noticed that the CS is staying pretty level on both ends.
That's a very good sign, however, it looks like Nocturne's pretty high up on CS compared to Blitzcrank, probably because Xin Zhao alternated to go for that early gank instead of farm. Once again, Vagar getting engaged on by Silas, going to have to flash away in order to survive. Vagar should really back here, he's running low on both health and mana points. Volibear looking for an engage here, trying to catch Set out of position, but he's not quite finding that angle. Set sitting up here, trying to get that experience, even though he's a little down. Trying to engage on the Volibear once again. Again, Volibear has more minions, more everything, and level 6. And Set's going to have to flash away in order to survive. Power does get disabled, but I don't think Volibear realized it, and he backed out a little bit early. Xin Zhao trying to look for an engage angle here, but he sees that Nocturne's there, he's going to let it be.
I've noticed that they keep trying to go in and take out the Volibear. Do you think it's going to succeed at some point?
It's really going to depend on some situations here. Looks like Set and Xin Zhao are going to miss the fact that Nocturne walks through Xin Zhao's jungle and he's going to be able to get away. A little bit unfortunate. Nocturne finds Set. He's going to get on top of him, fear him, going to start damaging him. However, Set's W coming in, that Haymaker saving him with that shield. Volibear's going to block out and they're going to take out Set. Vagar trying to bully the Silas here, realizes that there's 2 opponent enemy players and he's going to just leave it be. Go ahead and back up. Omaha City going to go ahead and grab those grubs. bot lane sitting really even for a very aggressive matchup into Jhin. Usually I see a bit more action from this kind of matchup. Samira tanking the minion wave here, taking a lot of damage in a really bad place. Surprised that she's sticking around. Looks like she's going to back up and recall. Best choice there. Jhin's out in the opponent's corner, going ahead and stealing that blue buff and getting away before Nocturne can find him. Jinzao does see Nocturne. Samira's not there to help out. Jinzao's going to miss his W, but go in anyway, going to airborne that Nocturne. Nocturne is a level up. However, Tahm Kench is there. Tahm Kench tries to save him, going to fail out. Ignite comes out. Maybe going to see an ult here. Yep. Blitzcrank is there to help out too, but this is looking really bad for Kearney. As I was, Tahm Kench is going to go ahead and take out that Nocturne and go ahead and back out. Mid lane staying pretty even still, and we're back in the top lane here for a second. Once again, mid lane staying even, but Silas is going to flash in, hit his E, and take out Veigar. Very unfortunate for the side of Kearney. Seth looking for angles here, trying to engage on the Volibear. Matchup's fairly even right now. No major swings either way. Volibear is now a level up. Seth's very careful. He's going to get stunned. Just kind of sitting in Volibear's abilities, letting him get stunned. He's going to fall back under tower. Seth playing a very risky game in the top lane. Here and Blitzcrank are going to go ahead and claim a turret plating here in the bot lane. We're going to have to see how this kill on the Tahm Kench is going to affect their matchup. Omaha Central going to the dragon here. Just going to buff their regen a little bit. Help them out in between two fights. Seth playing careful, playing near his tower, trying to make sure this Volibear can't find an angle on him. He's going to engage on the Volibear. Volibear's going to stun him, hit his W, and he's going to run away. He's going to miss the true damage on that W. Very unfortunate for Seth. Tahm Kench just tanking Samira under the tower. No respect for Samira's abilities. Samira's going to get rooted even though she has her ult up, not going to be able to use it. Very well done by Kearney's bot lane. Silas once again engaging onto the Veigar. Veigar trying desperately to run away, not really respecting Silas's stun. He's going to get away though. Coming in, hitting a hook onto Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench going to get airborne, but it doesn't look like Omaha Central is going to be able to follow up on that. Going ahead and clearing out some vision here, trying to get that vision advantage in the river. Very important to making sure that their Jinzao can gank. However, it looks like Jinzao's going to go ahead and recall. Bot lane really isn't in a position for him to gank anyway. Blitzcrank heading out here, getting some more vision out in the river. Trying to keep that vision control. Very good job on Blitzcrank's vision control this match. However, I'd like to see him playing a bit more aggressive. Same with the Samira. Really quiet match, very even match so far. Looks like Jinzao is going to find somebody in the river here, trying to take out the Nocturne. Nocturne out damaging him though, and is going to take down Jinzao. Jinzao just had a slight miscalculation of how much damage he had there, and it's going to be very unfortunate for him at the end of the day.
Oh, the Volibear.
Especially fighting Volibear one more time. Trying to see if he can win a fight at all. Gonna flash ultimate into his own tower. No W. No W. Very unfortunate. Kind of wish he had the grit built up there for his W. Would have been a great combo there. Volibear disabling the tower to make sure that he can back out using his ult. Very smart play there from Volibear. Volibear contemplating what he can do here. Sitting at about half health as you watch Set's regen up using his passive. That's the one nice thing about Set is that he has a very high base health regeneration when he's low, allowing him to recover in between fights. So even if Set is taking these very poor trades, eventually makes the health back. Once again, Kearney's bot lane playing very defensive, making sure they're staying behind minions, making sure that Blitzcrank can't find an angle to hook them in for his Samara. This guy's looking for angles here, just staying just slightly out of his range, making sure that he controls something with it. Tom Kent's trying to get that engage there. Samira's going to end up flashing away. Surprised that they didn't just take a straight up fight there. It looked like they had the advantage going into that fight. Blitzcrank could have definitely comboed there. Very defensive, very aggressive. It looks like another trade between Volibear and Set here. Volibear going to walk into tower, take a tower shot. Doesn't do all that much damage to him, but it kind of helps out, even though Set took a bad trade there. Once again. Din's force shot going to get blocked by the Samara W. Tom Kent's going to get caught by the Nocturne. Din trying desperately to stay back and find the right angle, trying to take down Samira. Nocturne's going to ult in here, trying to chase him down, but Tom Kent is going to slow him down, make sure that his bot laner is going to live through this fight. Xin Zhao coming in just to make sure that nothing bad's going to happen. Tom Kent keeps going. Same with Xin Zhao. They're going to find Blitzcrank here, take him out, going to Jim using his ult. And Nocturne's going to go ahead and pull back, hopefully. I would hate to see this Nocturne leave the tower and then get killed because he decided to go into the jungle. Set teleporting back up to the top lane, trying to keep that CS even though he's down almost 20 CS. Nocturne just clearing out some vision here in the jungle, trying to get set up for this next dragon.
I've noticed that no one's gone for the grubs.
We did have a round of... We had both rounds of grubs taken in favor of Omaha Central. However, it wasn't really noticed by the in-game AI, it seems. Might be an issue with directed camera. Maybe we'll file a ticket with a small indie game company. Volibear once again engaging onto Set. Set taking a straight up fight, even though he knows he's at a disadvantage. Trying to land that true damage, but it does nothing to Volibear, who's definitely up points on Set right now. Already got a fully completed Thimble winner. That's huge for Volibear. Kearney going to go ahead and claim that Fire Dragon, going to boost their base damage. Really nice for us. Looking at another fight here in the bot lane. All four players hopping out with strength, looking for that kill. Everybody getting a little bit of that gold. Making a little bit stronger. Looks like Omaha Central is going to take advantage of knowing where the rest of the enemy team is at and claiming the hill. Looks like they're going to get set up for some power taking here in a bit. Again, Tom Kent, knowing that the bot lane doesn't really have the people to do anything about it, are just bullying the Samira under tower. Looks like they might be able to take her out. She's going to go ahead and use her W, and it's not going to be able to find her. Taking the tower shot, looks like it's pretty low. Rico is going to get spawned in on the top lane here. Looks like Volibear is choosing not to take control of the barrels, which is an interesting decision. Kind of unfortunate for Volibear, but it's not the worst. Nocturne looking for an ult here, is going to find it onto the Jhin, trying to chase Jhin down, trying to take him out. And that's a shutdown for the Nocturne. Set once again making these very risky decisions here in the top lane, trying to pull the Volibear into tower, trying desperately to abuse the tower mechanics to his favor. However, Volibear once again has that ult that's going to cancel out the power, so I'm not sure if this is the greatest way to Set. Set's going to have Xin Zhao come in trying to help him out. Volibear trying to focus down the Set. Set's going to ult him away. Volibear's going to pull out his ult too. Xin Zhao trying to find the right angle to continue in on this fight. Pulling out his Q, pulling out his E, trying desperately to knock this Volibear's health down, but Volibear is this massive raid boss of opponent. He's going to go ahead and kill Xin Zhao, going to get that extra health on him. We're going to see Veigar walk in here and ult him, take him out. Since he was low, Veigar's ult him. Nocturne's going to come in here trying to do something off of Volibear's death, but isn't going to be able to find anything. He's going to get chased down by Set and Veigar here. Veigar flashing after the Nocturne trying to find the right angle to kill him, but isn't going to find it. Hits a Q. Nocturne pretty low. Pulls back just in time to make a Silas hit onto the set here. Silas trying to find the right angle, going to ult Veigar. Use that to kill the set. Trying to get Veigar as well. Veigar's going to stun him though. Veigar's going to throw out a Q. W. Not enough to kill him though, and Veigar's going to go down as well. That gives that Silas a lot of gold. Very scary for Kearney. Once again, looking down here in the bottom lane, Tom and taking that early game advantage that they created and are now just bullying the Samira and Blitzcrank under tower. Really rough to see for a matchup that I thought for sure was going to go in favor of the Samira and Blitzcrank. Jin's going to go ahead and claim that bot lane tower. Getting first turret for his team, getting that little bit of extra gold. Really good for his team. But still farming under tower, just playing it safe, even though he's at that disadvantage. He's currently down almost 30 CS. Really unfortunate for him, but it's not a huge disadvantage. Just seeing how these fights have been going for him, I can see why though. Silas with that 300 gold bounty that Jin's calling out. Silas looking for an angle. Instead we're going to redirect down here. Veigar ult a little bit early there. Tom Kench is going to go ahead and try and help out our set here. As we saw earlier, however, Volibear is kind of a great boss in this match. I'm not sure you can shoot those. Silas did take out Zenzel, which is really important. Jin going ahead and getting a double kill here, though. Nocturne is going to shut down the Jin once again, though. Interesting trade here. 2 for 2. Not a huge disadvantage, but also not the greatest for either team. Set kind of pushing up here into a Volibear that has level advantage on him. Not sure that's the greatest decision for Set to be making, but Tom Kent is close by.
Going on the Talia, not quite able to catch up with him. But Vex is doing an immense amount of damage, being 6-0 with the best farm in the game.
Sorry, trying to get that volume fixed for our mic. Looking at this team fight here, unfortunately, it's fairly even for a team fight that I thought for sure that Kearney was going to have more advantage in. Samira showcasing her power here, getting on top of the Veigar. Veigar's going to go ahead and take her out, though, for a double kill. Double kill on an infinite scaler. That's going to be pretty good for them. However, Omaha Central was going to be able to go ahead and claim 2 kills as well. Kind of still sitting here even in the top lane. I thought for sure by now Volibear was going to be able to start rolling that advantage. Here we go. Volibear going all in onto the set. Set still not playing under his tower. Really unfortunate decisions here by the set. Set's going to go ahead and get stunned underneath his tower. Volibear is going to ult in, trying to take him out, instead focusing on taking down this tower. Damage over time buff probably going to finish it off here. Nocturne ulting in on this fight here in the jungle. Going to go ahead and take out Tom Kench. Veigar looking desperately for an angle, isn't going to be able to find it, however, and 2 very low health players are going to be able to back out of that fight. Samira sees that Jin is nearby and is considering going after him, but can't really find the correct angle for it. Veigar, sitting in a bush with a ward, is going to get hooked over the wall and taken out. Very unfortunate. Jin ulting into the dragon pit here, trying to find an angle to deal damage to that dragon.
No objectives are up for a while.
Going to force Omaha Central to go ahead and pull out of that fight.
Will probably prioritize Dragon and Dirt now they have
Xin Zhao and Jin going in on a fight here. Going to find Samira, going to airborne her, and going to take her out. Jin trying to follow up as well, going in on to the Silas, going to take him out too. That's a huge amount of gold for our Jin, but Jin's going to get caught by the Nocturne, trying desperately to get away. He's going to get taken out though. Set trying to avenge his fallen Jin teammate and isn't going to be able to catch up to. No, the trap is going to slow down the Nocturne. Nocturne's going to come back in, getting pulled back in. Jin's going to get. Oh, sorry. Set's going to take him out, and then Veigar's going to go ahead and take out Blitzcrank as well.
She's going in alone, but her team is coming. Ulting all the Aphelios, coming in, but then keep going.
Volibear has just been pushing down this top lane here, trying to take advantage of the fact that Set went to that team fight. Getting about half health on this tower here. Meanwhile, Kearney's going to go ahead and claim a Mountain Dragon for their team. Gold value still sitting pretty even here. Set and Xin Zhao going to go in on the Volibear one more time. As we've seen before, Volibear is still kind of a raid boss. However, it looks like he's falling pretty easy. Jin's going to follow up as well. Jin's going to be here. He's a major tank deal with her. And he's going to go ahead and take out Volibear too. Making sure to feed the gold to the rest of his team since he's already sitting pretty good. Excellent decisions by this Jin.
Everyone on their team is
Samira pushing up solo in this bot lane here, going to get found by the Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench going to just run her down, throw her back into the tower, force Set to claim it looks like. However, Jin, she's going to go ahead and dash away, trying to get away. Tahm Kench is going to W in. Blitzcrank here trying to save her, but he's not going to be able to. He's trying to run away. Got his W up. He's going to go ahead and just start running away. Looks like he's going to be able to make it out, popping down some wards, making sure that he's got vision of the opponent jungle.
So I would have thought our bottom laners would have been more aggressive this go around.
Yes, I was expecting to see more aggression out of the Samira and Blitzcrank, but looks like Tahm Kench and Jin played that bot lane perfectly, pulling just slight advantages of CS out to go ahead and impact the rest of the map. 2v2 here in the mid lane between Veigar and Set. Both are looking for angles, but they're not going to find them. I did twiddle with the volume controls a bit. I don't know if that helped out for you guys who were asking about being able to hear me better. Tahm Kench going to get found in the river. Both Nocturne and Blitzcrank trying desperately to take him out, but he's just so beefy that it's extremely hard. Xin Zhao going for the wrong person, not realizing that Nocturne is the real threat. Going to cause Tahm Kench to go down. Double kill for Silas here, and Silas is going to live. He's going to pull out a Jin ult. Jin's going to realize exactly where he's at because of that, trying to take him out too, but he's not going to be able to find him either. Veigar having to rotate here to deal with the Volibear in the mid lane. Nocturne ulting in onto the Jin. Jin trying desperately to pull back, but Blitzcrank is going to come in and knock him out.
Not solid enough front line.
Awesome. Well, congratulations to Lincoln East. We're going to transition. We got a couple players coming up, so we're going to transition to them as you guys move and get up, and we'll get them on the mics.
Gold advantage is slowly sliding in favor of Omaha Central, sitting at about a 2K gold advantage right now. Not that major of one, definitely not game deciding, but we'll have to see how the match goes for Kearney from here. Kearney was the favorite team to win this matchup, but it doesn't look like their bot lane's been able to do enough to make up for what's been going on the top side of the map. Volibear once again going to get found underneath the tower by Tahm Kench and Xin Zhao, ulted by Tahm Kench, so he's going to have to stay on the tower. Volibear ult used excellently to make sure that tower isn't going to be able to do any damage to him, but he's still going to get slowly chunked down by these two players. We're starting to see the definite effects of Xin Zhao not being strong enough in the late game of this match to help out as much. I'd like to see some anti-heal from Kearney here to help deal with the amount of healing coming out of this Volibear. Veigar going to get found in the mid lane. Nocturne ult used to go ahead and take him out.
Mostly, we were just looking for
Set roaming down here to try and help out with this fight is going to walk into a bush of 3 opponent players, not going to be able to get his W off and is getting shut down as well. Xin Zhao, seeing the issue of what situation he's in, is trying to get away, but he's going to get stunned by Silas. Going to ult to try and get away as well. Jin doing an excellent job of rooting that Blitzcrank, so Blitzcrank can't find him. However, he is going to find the Jin instead because he walked up to place that trap. Unfortunately, the rest of the enemy team isn't going to be able to follow up on that. Jin doing an excellent job of kiting here, making sure that he's keeping opponents between him and the opponent. Xin Zhao trying his best to save this tower here. He's going to take a lot of damage from this Nocturne, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find a tower pick here. Jin also walking up, trying to save the tower. Tower's going to go down after all. Xin Zhao trying to get away, trying to get that healing in.
Is it just the bottom line towers left?
Pretty much. Unfortunately, Kearney has lost a lot of towers this match. They've lost 5 in total while only being able to take that one initial one that we saw them take much earlier in the match. Omaha Central just kind of having better map control right now. Going to go ahead and looks like they're going to be able to claim another dragon for their team. Kearney realizing what's going on, not able to do anything about it in time. Tahm Kench Wing in at the wrong time. Veigar going to get pulled over the wall as well, and both of them are going to go down. Set and Xin Zhao trying to follow up, but it's just kind of them slowly funneling in. Samira is going to get a triple kill. However, it looks like it's staying pretty even. 4 for 2, not the greatest situation. However, they are going to get some shutdowns, which might even out. Set going to go ahead and get a 3rd kill here. Looking for that 4th, but he is going to get taken out by that Nocturne. And that is an ace for Omaha Central. Volibear trying to push into the base here, trying to get an inhibitor, take advantage of the situation that he has been put in. Looks like he's going to have to back out as the enemy players respawn, but he did get that inhibitor just in time. Looks like he's going to have to back out as the enemy players respawn, but he did get that inhibitor just in time. Nocturne going to go ahead and ult in here, looking for the right angle. Oh, sorry folks, I just saw what happened. I'm going to fix that real quick. Go ahead and ult in here, looking for the right angle. Oh, sorry folks, I just saw what happened. Okay, looking at this team fight here, Nocturne, the ult didn't work out the best for him. He looks like he's really low. Xin Zhao trying to catch him, chase him down, but Jin's going to go ahead and throw out an ult, try and kill him, but he's going to be able to make it out. Kearney looking to recall, go down towards that bot lane where they see that Samira pushing in, trying to get more towers, and they really don't like that as they're already down to about 7 towers gone. Defending both mid and bot lane here, kind of having to split their forces a bit. Tahm Kench and Jin looking for an engage here onto the Volibear and Samira. Looks like they're going to find it. Xin Zhao also following up, going to jump in here. Blitzcrank here to help out too. Looks like we're just going to avoid a fight after all. Volibear and Blitzcrank considering a recall, seeing that the enemy team's there. Silas is going to see Xin Zhao taking this jungle buff here, and the entire enemy team's going to rotate onto this Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao is going to get caught, going to get ulted, and taken out. However, Kearney is here to follow up on this fight. They might be able to take advantage of the situation that they've been put into, but Jin's going to go down. Tahm Kench is stuck between 4 enemy players, and he's going to go down as well. Really unfortunate for Kearney. They are in set trying to defend this mid lane turret from the Nocturne, but they're about to lose the turret bot lane. They might have to rotate here and defend that instead. Veigar does rotate. Volibear's going to take out the tower, but he gets stunned because of it. Another tower is going to go down on the side of Kearney. Set going to get taken out as well. Veigar left completely on his own to try and defend the base for another about 10 seconds or so before the rest of his team responds. He's going to be able to take out that Silas. That late game damage scaling for Vagar is starting to showcase its power. However, Vagar is going to have to just fall back and watch as his towers go down. And Omaha Central is going to claim the Nexus. Omaha Central going into the final round here. And Kearney's going to be falling into the losers bracket for 3rd and 4th. All right, welcome back, folks, to the NSCSA State Championships. Playing for 3rd and 4th here, we've got Kearney and Creighton Prep.
For Creighton Prep, we have Mutant Luke Menard. He's playing his top or jungle. We also have Fluffbird, who is Jay Anthony, playing as the jungle or ADC. We have Rattle SS Snaked, Blake Leach, who's playing as mid. We have Oboe as Owen Limpak as the ADC. And then Hydro 19 as Zane Fox playing support.
All right, and for Kearney, we have your local amigo, Dean Schultz, playing in the top lane. XTS Prime, Michael Schultz, playing in the jungle. Pinky Fluffy, Lucky Potter, playing in the mid lane. Dirt and Worms, Lucas Godell, playing as ADC. And Eternal Hyena, Caleb Stoss, playing as the support. Going into the pick and ban phase here, already seeing some interesting decisions. We've got a Fizz ban on the side of Kearney and a Varus ban on the side of Creighton. As we've seen both rounds, Varus has been banned. Apparently their bot laner is really scary if he can get his hand on Varus. Also seeing an Alawi ban, an excellent decision because Alawi is in a very good place last time I checked. And Xerath ban here. Sounds like that was a mistake as I'm hearing the players arguing about it right now. Got a Belveth ban as well. Pretty evened out bans here. And a Warwick ban. Fairly even bans here. We've got some supports, some bot lanes. Looks like Zach's going to get locked in. We saw that banned last match. Might be an excellent pick here for Kearney. Diego lock-in, Yasuo lock-in for Creighton Prep. Two very high damage, high scaling characters. Also going to see a Kane locked in. I believe Kane, that's going to be a very interesting decision. Two junglers. I could see Zach playing as support or Kane being in the top lane. We're just going to have to see how these picks and bans roll out the rest of the round. It's been a long time since I've seen Kane or Zach in a lane, so we're going to have to see how that goes. And Aphelios is going to get locked in as well. Really hope that Creighton's going to pick some heavy AP characters as their last two picks. Otherwise, they're going to be very heavy into the AD side of the spectrum. Final round of bans here coming in. Going to see a Misfortune ban come out as well. Being smart about their bans, knowing that they've already banned, or that they've already seen a jungler picked and a mid laner picked for sure, trying to get more characters out from underneath Kearney here. Mordekaiser ban going to come out. Very good to see him out of the match. Mordekaiser's in a very good place, and knowing the fact that they need more AP characters on their team. Darius ban going to come in as well. Making sure that they don't get another strong character for their team. Some excellent decisions on bans. We're going to see a Blitzcrank ban come in. trying to make sure that they don't have to deal with that again. Kearney seems to really not like the concept of having to deal with Blitzcrank in general. A Malphite lock-in on the side of Creighton. Excellent decision, knowing that they need AP and they need a tank. Wonder who Malphite's going to end up playing into. Looks like it's going to be an Aatrox or a Kled or a Rek'Sai or a Gragas. Trying to make up their mind here, it seems. It's going to be an Aatrox lock-in. A very high skill, high reward champion here in the top lane. Going to see if Kearney can pilot it better than that set that we saw last match. Going to be a final lock-in here for a Nico. Looks like Nico's going to be the support in this matchup. Very glad to see that variation in damage types on the side of Creighton Prep. Looks like Zach's going to be the support. I can see that going really well or really poorly. It really just depends on how good the Zach is at playing his character. Especially when paired up with a Xayah, that could be a very dangerous combination. Aphelios and Nico, however, is two very high skill champions, one could say, and we're going to have to see which way it goes. Going into our 3-minute spectator delay here, let's look at some of these matchups. We got an Aatrox versus a Malphite. Malphite specializes in dealing with attack damage champions, so Aatrox might be in a little bit of a hurting situation here, especially if Malphite rushes some anti-heal. I'm surprised to see the Aatrox picked in the outfight, to be honest. And then in the jungle, we got Kayn versus Viego. That's a pretty even matchup. I can see it going either way. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it's Anivia versus Yasuo. Anivia relies on ranged spells, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Yasuo abusing that wind wall a lot to prevent her from hitting him. But Anivia, on the other hand, is really good at forcing champions who get on top of her to leave her alone. So that matchup could really go either way. And in the bot lane, we got Xayah and Zach versus Aphelios and Nico. Aphelios and Nico are definitely a more laid-back, play-careful kind of duo. Meanwhile, Zach and Xayah are going to be wanting to get on top of them and fight them constantly. So it's going to depend on how well Kearney is able to play this matchup, use their aggression. As last match we kind of saw, Omaha Central was not using their using their Blitzcrank pressure to engage in fights with their Samira. So hopefully we can see someone who went up against somebody making those mistakes and not make the same ones.
No, it wasn't Smite. It was something else. Thank you, Hughes.
Okay. Where is there a...
Alright, here we go, starting to load into the game here. Did some messing around with the settings, so hopefully that's going to help you all out, folks, being able to hear me a bit better, not having all that background noise going on.
Yeah. It's up to you. It's up to you.
Team's kind of rolling out here. Sounds like there might be some issues going on some mispick or something. I'm hearing some conversation from the coaches, so we might be seeing a remake here in a second, but hopefully we'll be able to play this out.
30 seconds until
Looks like they're
minions
asking for a remake, but we're going to have to see. What's happening?
Minions have spawned.
All right, folks, this just in. Sounds like there was a mistake with the game creation. Somebody picked the wrong rune, so we're going to be resetting it here real quick, and we should be back into the game here soon. All right, folks, welcome back. We're going into our 3-minute spectator delay after the match was reset. I was hearing some of the teams plotting to use this towards their advantage, so we might see some interesting stuff in this first 3 minutes that we're waiting to play out before we can start watching.
So with the changes in matchups,
So there shouldn't have been any major changes in matchup. It was agreed before the reset happened that all character picks would be the same to prevent any issues that could be taken advantage of. Something we've seen before, way back when the NSCSA was starting off, was that sometimes teams would ask for resets and then change their character picks because they didn't like how they got matched up.
do you think we'll see any major CS differences?
So once again, it's really going to depend on how well these players play. I don't see really any matchups where that should become a major issue. It just depends on how the lanes roll out. If a laner gets a major advantage early on in a lane, you'll definitely see CS differences start to come in if they're able to leverage their advantages properly. I almost wonder if we're going to see an invade here in the first few minutes after last match being played very carefully, not looking for an invade. Going to make these first 3 minutes interesting, hopefully. Game delay is up, and we'll be loading in here in just a second.
So how bad could it have been if the other game had started with the poorly chosen runes?
So I didn't get the chance to see the difference in runes, what caused the reset, so I couldn't tell you for sure. Differences in runes could cause just minor effects in laning phase or completely change how a character plays for an entire match, so it could have been just about anything. Looks like we're going for a traditional start once again, not looking for anything interesting.
Welcome to Summoner's
Both teams playing it safe, playing it right, making careful choices.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Zach and Zaya appear to be just letting Kane start on his own. That's going to slow him down just a little bit, unless he goes for a chicken start. We'll have to see what decisions he makes here. Kane is one of those few characters that, if played properly, can start on something other than his buff. So we'll have to see what decisions get made.
That was incredible by the Bear. They only barely making it out after 2.
Lane starting off here. Already seeing the Anivia abusing their range advantage on this Yasuo. However, Yasuo is heading back. Aatrox looking to kind of bully this Malphite kind of early on, get rid of Malphite's little shield that he gets every once in a while. But it does get reset. He's not going to be able to clear it after all. Looking for a trade here, however, Malphite is definitely using that extra shield that he has to his advantage. Aatrox playing really aggressive and is taking a lot of damage from minions right now. However, he does have the minion wave advantage, so if he can tempt this Malphite into hitting him, it's going to be really good for him. Malphite does hit him, is going to pull back right away. Anivia getting engaged on by the Yasuo here. At the same time, Aatrox is trying to engage onto the Malphite. Once again, Aatrox kind of missing that sweet spot on his first Q, kind of reducing the amount of damage that he gets from it. Kind of unfortunate for him. Bot lane looking fairly even as well. Aatrox a level up here, would like to see him engage, uses his W to claim the cannon minion. Excellent decisions here. Moving in on another engage onto the Malphite. Malphite's going to pull back a little bit, make sure that he doesn't take too much damage. He's going to hide up under that tower. Anivia kind of getting bullied a little bit more in the mid lane. Zaya going to get rooted, going to take some damage here. Tries to recall Feathers to do a bit of damage. It's not going to work out quite right for her. Kane finishing up his jungle clear here on the bottom side of the map, while Viego's finishing up on the top side. So they're going to be on opposite sides for their initial ganking decisions and Scuttlecrab. CS sitting fairly even, except for in the mid lane where Anivia does have a much higher CS value, or it has a much lower CS value than Yasuo.
I'm glad you're looking out.
Very unfortunate situation here happening in the bot lane for Kearney. Looks like he's going to go ahead and get that first blood. They're going to try and take out the Zac as well. Zac's going to pop, going into his revive mode. Although I'm not sure if they have enough damage to kind of clear him out in time before he respawns. Flash in here from the Kane. Kane's going to go ahead and take out that character in revenge. Felios going down there. Very unfortunate for Creighton Prep. Also going in here on to Anivia. Anivia using their wall very smartly to force a disengage there, however. Malphite still pushed up underneath tower at a level disadvantage. Kind of sad for the Malphite. Malphite's going to get knocked up. 1, 2, 3, and that's a 3-hit combo for Aatrox, boosting his damage a lot. Healing him up a little bit, too. Malphite sitting at about half health while Aatrox is still at full. Once again, Aatrox taking advantage of Malphite's missteps to get a bunch of extra damage in. Malphite surprisingly walking out from under his turret while still at this low of health. His shield does come back, however, which is very nice. He's going to take some damage into that shield. He's going to reset here, going to get bounced up. Oh, and if Aatrox had hit one more auto, he would have been able to kill him there. Viego looking for a gank here in the bot lane. Gonna find the root, gonna find the stun. Zaya really low here, trying desperately to get away, but she is going to go down to the Aphelios ability going off. Zac sitting in the back, trying to stay away. Just playing it safe, staying alive, making the right decisions. This is an unfortunate situation. Looks like Creighton Prep's going to go ahead and try and roll this into a dragon while Kane is on the upper half of the map. Kane, knowing what they're doing, is looking like he's going for an invade into Viego's jungle here, trying to steal some minions back. Zach here trying to defend his bot lane tower from the Aphelios. Aphelios going to back up, knowing that he's crashed the minion wave, and that's what he's going to be able to do for the day. So Yasuo's going to get a dash in here. Isn't able to get his ult off of it, however. Anivia being very careful, making the right decisions, and disengaging from that fight. Once again, landing perfect stuns on this Yasuo as he tries to engage onto her. Yasuo opting not to go for the ult there. Playing it safe. Zach clearing out wards here with Zach. Aatrox looking for more engages. As I mentioned earlier, Malphite has opted to go straight for anti-heal, making the right decisions in this matchup to try and prevent Aatrox from getting stronger. Aatrox ulting here, trying to go in. In the meantime, in the mid lane, Yasuo's going to go ahead and ult in on the Anivia, knock her down, put her into resurrect mode, and going to break the egg. Not quite, though. Anivia gets a respawn off, does a little bit more damage, and then goes down. Malphite did end up living up there in the top lane. Kane went for the grubs, but it looks like Viego's countering right now, so we're going to see some action there in a minute. Aatrox re-engaging onto Malphite here, but he sees Viego coming in. He's going to try and get away. However, he's going to get combo stunned, and he's going to get fought. Probably going to go down here in a second. Kane's trying to walk up. Yasuo is walking up as well. Down here in the bot lane, we see a fight between Aphelios and Xayah. Xayah not able to recall her feathers in time to kill off a player, but Zach is going to be able to get revenge for her in the same way Kane goes down in the top lane. A 1-for-1 trade in the bot lane and just a single-handed defeat in the top lane. Creighton Prep going ahead and claiming those Void Grubs for their team. Only got 2 of them, however, so there's a potential for them not to get the Grubling buff on the next respawn. No real major action going on the map right now as everyone's just focusing on farming, getting stronger the only way you really can in League. Viego defending the top lane tower here as he waits for Malphite to get back. Malphite arrives and he's going to go ahead and go back to farming his jungle. Malphite is currently down about 5 CS. Very unfortunate situation for him. Aatrox has been trying to hold him off of these minions. Yasuo looking for another engage onto the Anivia, going to find an airborne. However, that wall is going to prevent him from going any further. Aatrox really missing some of these abilities, unfortunately. But he is going to find his W. He's going to find his Q. He's going to do a lot of damage. However, Viego's coming in, trying to save his Malphite. Aatrox choosing to have to run away from this fight. Viego ult comes out, going to miss the airborne, and he is going to go down. However, there is another fight going on here in the bot lane. Looks like it was played really well by Zach and Xayah. Unfortunately, we weren't there to see it. Major health advantage in favor of Kearney right now in the bot lane. Yasuo going to find another ult onto the Anivia, going to take her down, get even more gold. Yasuo already shaping up to be a major threat for Kearney going into the late game of this match, sitting at a nice and pretty 2-0 and 64 CS about 9 minutes into this match. A little bit lower than we'd like to see here. However, those kills are definitely making up that difference. Creighton Prep already with a 2,000 gold advantage over Kearney. Kind of an unfortunate situation for Kearney. Xayah going to find Nico here, but it's not going to be able to do anything off of it. Kane choosing to invade into Viego's jungle here, looking to steal another buff. Viego is nearby, so looks like he's going to choose to go ahead and pull out of that jungle and not try to fight. He's also trying to find another engage onto the Anivia here. Isn't going to find it. Anivia poking him out, doing almost half health with a couple of abilities. Aatrox looking to abuse this Malphite once again. Kind of missing his sweet spots though, so he's not doing as much damage as one would like to see from a late game Aatrox like this is. Looking at a fight here in the jungle. Looks like Kearney's going to go ahead and win this fight out because they got caught out of position. Huge fight in favor of Kearney here, going ahead and swinging that gold difference back a little bit. Only 1,000 gold difference here now. Those shutdowns were huge. Catching that Yasuo out of position was a major thing for Kearney to get in this team. However, Malphite is going to find Aatrox mispositioning, misusing his ultimate, not hitting his Qs like he should have been, and he's going to be able to shut Aatrox down and get a bounty of his own. Nico looking for an angle on a fight here, knowing that they have the advantage if the fight does break out. Trying to force fights here. Anivia choosing to go ahead and pull back after seeing Viego, knowing that Yasuo is going to be there shortly. Malphite going to go ahead and claim a turret plating in the top lane, trying to greed for a second, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to find it. Going to pull back here a bit. Like to see him recall here and cash in that gold from the kill that he got, however, it doesn't look like he's going to go for that option. Malphite is a pretty decent counter pick against Aatrox purely because one of his main items that he builds anyway is a heal cut item, and Aatrox's whole thing is healing. So not having that is a major disadvantage. Zac here in the bot lane trying to engage in a fight with Kayn, but not going to be able to find it. They're going to go ahead and pull out of that fight. Aatrox winning this duel here in the top lane, getting that health advantage once again. Trying to find the Malphite here, but it doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Creighton prep here, grouping up for this Cloud Dragon. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to find it. Aatrox going ahead and claiming that turret plating, trying to find an angle where he can hit this Malphite here, but Malphite's playing very safe, staying back under tower, making sure that his health regen is kicking in. Kayn here is going to see that they're going for this. Dragon is trying to steal it. Doesn't look like he's going to find it. Having to ult to try and save himself. He's going to run towards the wall, but he's going to get ulted and taken down. Anivia trying to do something about it, do something off of it. Kayn still trying to chase him down, not going to find a kill though, and going to have to back out. Yasuo sitting here in the mid lane, sees that Zac is walking through. Kind of afraid that Zac's looking for an angle. Malphite teleporting back into the top lane, using that level advantage, that gold advantage to kind of run down the Aatrox here. Aatrox trying desperately to use his abilities to get away. However, the ult is going to come out and he's going to go down. Very unfortunate for the Aatrox. Anivia with that perfectly timed stun just to make sure that Yasuo isn't going to be able to engage on her. He's just going to pull back to her tower. We're back to another 2k gold difference in favor of Creighton Prep once again. 11 and 5 on the scoreboard. Kayn coming in here to defend this tower from Malphite. He's going to CC him in the turret. He's going to take like 3 or 4 turret shots. That's really rough for the Malphite, but Kayn isn't going to be able to follow up on that. Fight here in the bot lane breaking out. Xayah doing a bunch of chunk damage to that Nico, but not going to be able to find the kill. Caden pulling back as he walked into a group of 3 people trying to take the grubs, trying desperately to get back, going to airborne all 3 of them. Aatrox comes in over the wall, going to find the Viego, not quite. Viego's going to get taken out by the mid laner here. Malphite looks like he's going to be going down here in a second too. However, Yasuo does find that major AoE stun, but he's going to go down as well, and it's going to be a major loss for Creighton Prep here. Creighton Prep also winning a fight, or losing a fight here in the bot lane. Side trying desperately to get away from the Aphelios here. Zac jumping over the wall, trying to help her out, getting a bunch of damage in, but he's also going to go down, it looks like. He's going to go into his res form. Looks like it's underneath tower enough that he might be able to get it off. No, Aphelios is going to find him. 1 for 1 in the bot lane, but a major win in favor of Kearney at that Herald fight. Goal difference is completely evened out because of that fight now. CS value is still pretty even overall. No major leads showing themselves at this point. The only thing that was really putting Creighton Prep so far ahead was the amount of kills that they had, and that's not even an issue anymore. Aatrox getting comboed again, going to go down. Very unfortunate. He was a little bit too far up and got caught out by the opponent jungler and Malphite. Kayn going in on a fight on Yasuo here in the mid lane. Kind of a poor decision, knowing that Yasuo is pretty far ahead, even though they won that fight earlier. Anivia comes in and saves him, however. Malphite just pushing in this top lane, since Aatrox is not able to be there. Like to see Aatrox teleport immediately up to that top lane to try and save his tower, but it is going to go down. First tower in favor of Creighton Prep. Kane clearing out his jungle, probably going to look for a Herald placement either bot side or in the mid lane here in just a few seconds. Yasuo comboing in, landing his ult, kind of forcing Anivia to pull back here. Anivia is going to be able to get back into their own jungle and save themselves. Viego ganking the bot lane here, going to find a stun onto Xayah. Xayah's going to throw out her ult, going to use her E and take out Viego by trapping him under tower. Looking at a fight up here in the top lane. Kane coming in on this bot lane fight, trying to help out, looking for a kill onto Aphelios here. He's going to find it, looking for Nico as well. Massive shutdown for that Kane. Aatrox playing it safe here under tower. Nivea looking for an angle here. Yasuo's not going to let her find it though. Once again, that gold difference is kind of cleared up. Malphite making a mistake, taking a couple of tower shots there, kind of evening out their health values. Still trying to find damage onto that Aatrox, but still taking more and more tower shots. Aatrox playing that tower range perfectly. However, is going to miss some abilities, and Malphite takes advantage and takes him out.
No help. Can't really do anything.
Looks like Creighton Prep setting up for this Hextech Dragon here. If they get this Dragon, it's going to set them up for Soul. Looks like Kane has noticed and is trying to rotate down, but he needs to help his Anivia here. Anivia finding it, getting out. Xayah realizes what's going on as well. Looks like they're going to be able to catch Viego, take him out here, and then roll it into a Hextech Dragon for themselves. Excellent decision making by Kearney here. They're trying desperately to claim the dragon. They're going to go ahead and get it. They could find a fight here if they wanted it, but it doesn't look like they're going to choose for that option. Anivia clearing out this minion wave, getting some extra gold in, doing what she needs to do to get stronger. Xayah sitting back in the bot lane, trying to farm up, trying to get ready. Kane ganking here, going to find an angle to get on top of Aphelios, going to ult in, going to try and take him out, but he's going to miss the second part of his Q. That would have been able to kill Aphelios if he had hit the second part. Unfortunately, he dashed the wrong direction when he was trying to predict which way Aphelios was going to run away from him. Aphelios did use his ghost to get away there, so he's not going to have it for the next fight, however. Zach has gone up towards the top lane to try and help out Aatrox since he's been in a bad position lately, leaving Xayah completely on her own here in the bot lane. Aatrox going to combo quite perfectly here in the top lane, getting on top of that Malphite, but Malphite is just so tanky from the amount of armor he's built up that Aatrox isn't even going to do any damage to him. It's like he's not even scratching him. The only person who was really doing damage in that fight was Zach. Would really like to see some damage characters here, like Anivia trying to build some max health damage, something like a Leandri's Anguish to kind of melt through this Malphite's health bar in team fights. Aatrox realizing what's going on is trying to get away, going to flash out of that Malphite ult. Here comes Anivia, and they're going to combo in. Anivia takes out Viego and is going to get the shutdown on Malphite, giving her a bunch of gold that she's going to be able to roll into some very important items here in a bit. Looks like she's got the components built up for a Seraph's Embrace, so that's going to be very nice for her. Rift Herald's going to be spawned in the top lane. Meanwhile, Yasuo is going to go ahead and claim a turret here in the mid lane. If they can take this turret out before unfortunate Herald had to connect with that tower, it's going to lose them some health on the Herald. Herald once again hits another crash onto the second tower, doing about half health there, getting them that advantage towards taking even more turrets. Zach and Aatrox just working together, trying to push in this top lane. We see a teleport coming in from the Malphite. This is about to very quickly become a 4v3. Kearney really needs to pull out of this fight before they get caught. Looks like Aatrox is going to get found and go down, however. I would like to see this Kane and Zach run away a little bit faster. They're trying to chase him down, but it might not be able to find him. Kane might need to throw out a W to try and get away here, or use his E to walk through that wall. And Anivia shows up as well to help him get away. Very unfortunate situation for Kearney, but they did manage to get 2 of the 3 players that they had get stuck there out. So not as bad as it could have been. Uncontested Aphelios here, just going to go ahead and chip through a tower. Claim a little bit more gold on the side of Creighton Prep. Creighton Prep is actually behind on gold right now by about 300, whereas before they were up several thousand. CS values once again staying pretty similar, a little bit more in favor of Kane in the jungle and a little bit less towards Aatrox, kind of evening themselves out. Aatrox going to notice that Malphite is chilling out in their jungle. Malphite's going to have to back out. Xayah and Zac just kind of farming up here in the bot lane, dealing with the Aphelios, poking them a little bit. Aphelios trying to get as much CS as he can so he can become that late game menace that Aphelios has usually become. Kane farming through his jungle here. Both teams really focusing on farming for a bit. Nico's going to find Zac here in the jungle. Zac's just going to barely dodge that Aphelios ability. If Aphelios had connected that, that probably would have spelled the end for Zac. Very good playing from the Zac player here. Looks like we're going to see a fight over a dragon here in a little bit. Dragon about 30 seconds out from spawning. Creighton Prep tried to take advantage of the map situation, having Malphite go in on Aatrox. Aatrox is going to finally find a way, pull out. Malphite choosing to disengage because he knows that he doesn't know where his opponents are at and doesn't want to make a misplay that's going to result in his death right before a dragon fight. Dragon spawning in about 10 seconds, so we're going to see that happening here soon. Creighton Prep rotating in, Kane rotating in. Looks like Kane's going to go ahead and... Kane doesn't start the dragon. Very smart decision here, as they don't know where the enemy team's at. They're going to go ahead and start up the dragon. Creighton Prep's going to collapse in here, not going to really find anything. Malphite ult comes out, going to knock up two people. Kane ulting perfectly, trying to avoid as much damage as possible. Looks like Kearney is going to win this team fight handily using the power of Xayah. Malphite trying desperately to at least get one kill in return for losing his entire team, but Xayah is going to be able to get away, and that's a dragon and an ace for Kearney. Dragons are now tied up 2-2. Doing a little fist bump here on the side of Kearney. That isn't bad manners, folks, because the opponent team can't see it. Just kind of congratulating each other. Gonna go ahead and roll this ace into a Baron. Excellent decision making from Kearney, taking that small advantage that that team fight gave them and rolling it into even more objectives. Really showcasing their ability to snowball off of a small lead that they were given earlier in the match. Baron's going to go down, and the gold difference is starting to really show. We're at almost a 4,000 gold difference in favor of Kearney. Tower's going to go down on the top lane. Aatrox taking advantage of that buff. Aatrox trying to pull out as he knows that the enemy team is probably rotating in on him. Choosing to use his ult to get away, using that bonus movement speed. The right decision at the end of the day because there was about 3 players about to jump. Kearney sitting with several shutdown bounties. If Creighton Prep plays the next fights properly, they can claim almost 1,500 gold purely off of player bounties. No objective bounties yet, however. Malphite getting absolutely abused here as both Kane and Aatrox start beating him up. Both of them are AD characters, however, and you see they just don't do the damage that they should have to that character. Zac taking some tower shots for Xayah so that Xayah can take this turret out. Kearney doing an excellent job of rolling this Baron buff into 2 more towers. Kind of evening out the turret total for both teams. One of the nice things about Red Kane is that he does percentage max health damage, which is why he's even doing any damage to Malphite at all at this point in the game.
But very important. Their team got
So he's going to go ahead and choose to back here. That bush is warded, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to take advantage of knowing that she's pulling back. Malphite pushing in the top lane here. Aatrox walking up to counter him, trying to make sure that he's not going to be able to fight any more turrets here. Viego clearing out some of his jungle, getting some more CS, trying to even out the gold advantage here, but we're sitting at a grand total of a 5k difference in favor of Kearney right now. Sitting about 26 minutes into our match here, sitting fairly good up for both teams. Match could definitely go either way still. Creighton prep making sure to match each other's pushes. Malphite's going to find Xayah mispositioned in the river here. Zach's going to come in, King's going to come in, make sure that she's able to survive. Anivia was there as well. All just kind of grouping up, turning that Xayah from a walking treasure into a death trap. Xayah walking up, kind of chunking down this Malphite here. She's not doing very much damage as Malphite is really tanky at this point in the game. Kane's going to find Viego mispositioned here. Vigo's going to take advantage, flash in, going to deal some massive damage to the opponent team here. And in the end, it looks like it's going to be a major misplay on the side of Kearney as Creighton Prep is taking advantage of some misplays here and getting some pretty massive bounties, evening out that gold advantage that Kearney had just a minute ago, cutting it down from 5,000 gold advantage to only a 3,000.
wild work the songs here.
Again,
So here at Munchie,
Yasuo taking the blue buff here, surprisingly enough. Guess they don't mind feeding him a little bit more gold. Looks like we're about to see another fight in the dragon pit here. Whoever claims this dragon is going to be a point away from Soul. Both teams trying to get their way over there. Aatrox going to go ahead and start hitting that Struggle Crab, getting the most important objective in the game. Going to go ahead and pull back though as he sees the enemy team trying to collapse in on him. Viego pulling back as well. Kearney going to choose to go ahead and start the dragon, knowing that Creighton Prep is at their door. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and claim the dragon. Major misplay from Creighton here. They should have engaged sooner. They're going to lose that dragon, and now it's going to roll into a losing fight for them as Viego gets caught away from his team. Viego's going to get airborne and taken down. However, meanwhile, Yasuo and Malphite are trying to combo in on this Xayah and Anivia here. Two of the highest damage characters for Kearney are going to go down. Kane choosing to ult onto the Yasuo here and going to take Yasuo out as well. However, he is getting distracted away from the rest of his team, and they're going to lose Aatrox. Really some interesting misplays on both teams here, and it's going to turn into an advantage for Creighton at the end of the day. Really unfortunate for Kearney. They choose to leave their two major damage players at the mercy of a Yasuo and Malphite, kind of showing the effects of not staying grouped as a team. They just stayed together in that little death ball they had going for the Viego. They would have been able to win a lot more.
Some players. Again, thank you guys for helping us today. This was great. So give us a minute as we transition to our next.
Sounds like the finals for first and second place have finished up. So we're down to the only match available. This just in, Lincoln East is our state champions for League of Legends in Division 1 this year. Looks like we're rolling up for a Baron fight here. Kearney and Creighton all grouping up, trying to find angles for this fight. Yasuo and Malphite have their ults up, so Kearney should be very careful not to stay grouped, because if they make a small mistake here, they can get completely messed up. Both Yasuo and... Wow, that's going to be a major loss of a fight there, as Zach is able to find the correct angle to set up his entire team to get an ace here, as Aatrox gets the triple. Going to roll this straight into a Baron, and I'd like to see them run it straight down mid lane immediately afterwards, making sure that they can win that fight.
I think we were pretty confident going in because
Nibia and Aatrox immediately rotating towards the mid lane. Zaya is recalled and is also heading that way. Zach pushing out the top lane while Kane goes ahead and farms a little bit. Aatrox and Nibia collapsing in on a tower. Looks like they're probably going to claim that fairly quickly. Turret goes down, and they're going for an inhibitor turret as well. Zach making sure to push out that top lane, make sure they can get a little bit of advantage up there as well. Not the biggest advantage that they could have gotten. Looks like Creighton's going to go ahead and respawn here and try to meet their push, but Kearney's going to go ahead and pull back just in time before getting caught out.
the game was pretty even. We took Baron and
Diego goes through the Hextech gate there and almost runs straight into Kane. However, is smart enough to walk away as soon as he sees that Kane bubble hovering around the wall.
every time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I get that you took the Dragon Soul very quickly because of that pressure, and so thoughts then when you guys.
Aatrox looking for a fight here in the mid lane, isn't going to quite find it. However, probably a good thing as a Malphite and Nico are kind of a menacing duo. Entire team for Kearney except for Kane here grouped in the mid lane. As we can see, Creighton Prep kind of looking for an angle to come in and fight here. Aatrox getting some chunk damage in on the Malphite. Not as much as one would like to see, but it is some. Kane rotating up here, looking for this team fight here in the mid lane. They're going to go ahead and rotate back, go ahead and do some vision clearing in the jungle to prep for this last dragon they need for Dragon Soul. Soul will definitely be a huge impact on the team here. Looks like we're about 3 minutes out from the end of this match. Kearney's going to find an angle here, or at least they try to. Malphite flashes out just to make sure that he can stay alive where this fight happens. Aatrox did use his ult preemptively, so he's not going to have it for the actual team fight that's about to happen. Everybody looking for the angle to make it right for their team. Nobody's really finding it quite yet, though. Kane off to the side here, looking to try and catch somebody out of position. Viego in their jungle here, going to get found by the Zach. Zach hits his Q, going to pull him in a little bit. They're not able to do anything off of that, though. Kearney is going to be able to claim that Dragon Soul, and looks like they're going to roll it straight into a team fight here. Catching the Malphite out of position, chunking him down. Malphite's going to go down, and it looks like they might be able to just roll this into a win. Aatrox flashing in, trying to catch the Aphelios, going to find the Yasuo instead, going to airborne him, not quite, unfortunately. Zach and Aatrox up here really far up. Aatrox does go down due to being too far away from his team. However, Viego's going to go down as well. Kane resurrecting here, trying to get up in time. Ult coming out from the Zaya, and Kane is going to find the rest of the enemy team, and that is going to be an ace in favor of Kearney. Looks like they're going to push for the end here. We've got like a 40-second respawn timer for Creighton Prep. We're going to have to see if they're able to respawn in time to try and save their base. Real nail biter here left for the rest of the match. Where it looks like Kearney is going to find the enemy nexus and take it out. Congratulations to Kearney at getting 3rd place in the NSCSA finals.